Hey everyone, my name is Kabi and today we are going to watch an interesting game between the dark and the light players. In the bottom side of the map appears Tihonia, uh, which means somewhat a calm man, or probably a silent man. Anyway, that refers to a guy who's been silently sitting in the corner, not being too active. Not sure if this is gonna happen in this particular game, but I just sort of describe what did a nickname mean. Not sure for what reason I even did that. But anyways, that is an experienced player who used to play the light faction before he went to a little inactive period, and then he came back to then see what the dark faction can make. And in the top side of the map appears White Unicorn, and it's pretty obvious what was his nickname meant, so doesn't really need to be explained. And he plays light. He actually plays both factions, but he prefers light, and it is also the Gear Games employee, one of the community managers for War Legends, and he played against Tihonia a few games in a row, and I picked the most interesting one to share it with you guys. And as you already learned from the name, Tihonia is obviously going to play the most popular strategy nowadays, which is Undead strategy and Undead faction. And what about White Unicorn? It seems that he's gonna make a fancy opening, because we can see him building a second rocks out of the first tier castle. And that is somewhat an old strategy, and many players used to use it back in the day, especially when we were playing against bots every now and then. I'm not sure if probably someone still plays against the bots. That opponent that the game gives you if the queue takes 4 minutes or longer. I personally don't waste my time on bots and just leave straight if it happens. But if you just need to close the daily rounds badly, then probably you can play against that. But anyways, we witnessed Unicorn using the Lumberjack scroll, and probably the reason for that is because he's then going Dwarven Forge, and also sending his worker to the other side of the map, and that probably means that he's about to build an artillery tower to the opponent's face, and it is why he needs a lot of wood, but probably not so many, because he is already up to 900 wood. I'm not sure what did he order and then cancel. Something expensive apparently, probably the ill-positioned artillery tower. But now he tries to build it here in the worker line, and Tihonia uses his slaves to immediately cancel that tower. And he still keeps fighting with the slaves, and that is probably a good idea, because he's obviously lower and much shorter on the army. It is 8 swordsmen against 2 goons, and of course you need a lot of force to even match that. And no artillery tower finishes so far, and it seems that Unic is about to lose the worker eventually, but worker is still alive, low HP, may try it once more, and so he does. Tihonia already puts his guys back to the gold mining, but now he needs badly to take down this artillery tower once again, and also he hidden a dark gate in the left part of the map. So here we see a necromancer coming into the fight, doing the bad things, resurrecting a few skeleton warriors. It is also interesting that both players have the epic items, because we gave it to the participants of the tournament that we held recently, because we are gonna purge the progress very soon anyway, so we just granted the epic items to all the participants. to make them more or less equal in the tournament. And why I mention this now is because nobody used to have the items for the skeleton warriors previously, because we simply didn't have it in the battle pass for some technical reason, and now the skeleton warriors became significantly stronger comparing to what did we used to, and this is why you can see this high amount of damage the skeleton warriors deal. And now this strategy with the necromancers seemed to pay out really good for Tijuana, who it seems ended up blocking this attack entirely, while Unicorn tries to also take down an Undead obelisk, not succeeded, and what he did succeeded with though is taking the 2 chests. So Unicorn, oh, probably the top chest was actually taken by the skeleton warrior, I'm not sure, but the left chest was obviously taken by the swordsman. And in the meantime, Unicorn is up to 2nd tier castle, also the Elven Tree and the Altar of Heroes. So he's about to go the Princess branch. And what about Tijuana? He still plays the Undead branch, and I'm not sure if he's about to add anything else. We'll see, because many players only add the 2nd race building to add the 2nd hero, and literally don't add anything else to the Undead units. Now we see that Tijuana is not really building much, which is obviously a mistake, because you never want to idle with your production in any RTS, War Legends included, unless you're supply blocked at least, but even then you probably want to add more production to be able to rehire and get back your units and reinforce quickly. If you are supply capped now, that means that you're gonna stack the resource bank, so you will be able to spend it quickly. So anyways, Tijuana had a formidable army in terms of numbers, but his units were very fragile, so they demolished quickly by this artillery tower. And still in the meantime, Tijuana got the chest in the middle. So the 730 chest went to his name, and this allows him to actually add, I'm not sure why he thinks he needs the Tower of the Dark Magic. Probably because he suspects White Unicorn to play the Fox Riders, because it is somewhat a Unicorn's signature unit, the Fox Rider. And on this map you can use it for the mana wells too, but the primary goal would be probably still cutting the worker line, and the tower won't let it happen too easily. So now the princess is being caught. White Unicorn used the Magic Blast and also the princess active, so that allowed him to take down the 2 necromancers, but then the princess still went down. And Tijuana keeps going, probably not succeeded eating that archer, because even though the animation was played, it seems that the archer in fact died before that by the other attack. So this is the little bug that still happens sometimes. So it may look like the bonus regeneration didn't work, but it didn't work because the eater actually didn't eat the target, even though the animation was played. We're probably gonna take a grip on that and fix it later, but currently it's still a problematic thing. Alright, so here is the princess, appears on the battleground, right when the Undead attack starts yet again. Tijuana is been misplacing his worker on the chest a little bit. The Magic Blast kills another Necromancer. There is still one more. The third won't arrive in the battle because being caught by the princess. But that one is still resurrecting the skeleton warriors. And in the meantime, Eater is trying to finish off another archer. And this time you can see how he correctly hits the target, so the regeneration works. And here comes the active ability. Probably I would rather use it for escape, honestly, because Eater obviously gonna die here. But we can see a few exposed targets. So the first one is apparently this worker that Eater is gonna gorge right now. But not gonna do anything else here because way too many light units. So Eater finally goes down. And what happens in the meantime in the red player's base? We can see him added the second tier of the Dark Gate. Also another Dark Gate being added. And the Altar of Heroes has been upgraded. While the Totem of Orcs also built. So Tijuana is about to add the Chief rather than getting back the Eater right now. That is probably just because of the resource management. But actually they both are 600 gold, right? But Eater is 300 wood and the Chieftain is 400 wood. So you would probably call it that the Eater is the better hero, but he is also less expensive. This is how it works, I'm not really sure why, but probably we didn't really balance them between each other, but rather how it works with the units that are also being opened by the same race building. But actually, skeleton archers are also less expensive than the Varg Riders, the ex-Wolf Riders, we used to call it that. But alright, in the meantime, White Unicorn uses his not Fox Riders but the Princess to harass the Tijuana's worker line along with the Magic Blast. And probably it wasn't the greatest call out of Tijuana to pull the workers on the Princess, because they went out of the Mana Tower range, and that allowed White Unicorn to actually hit them with the Magic Blast. So that was a nice bite out of Unicorn, and Tijuana is a little down in workers right now, but also high enough in resources to be able to rehire them. But what's bad about this is probably both players need to already think about the fourth tier, but Tijuana's castle is currently busy making workers, but neither of them is supply capped, so it is not so urgent. Tijuana also checks if this golden idol is even captured, sees that it's not, and then proceeds to the Well of Mana to try to capture that one. He also already got a few zombies, which are obviously the great unit against archers, and also the great units to get even more of those great units for entirely free. If you take down the neutrals, all you need to do is to make sure that no other unit finishes the creature, and then you just casually get a few free units, which is obviously always a great thing to do. Tijuana is still not supply capped. The best way to do it is when you are supply capped, actually, so you get the extra supply. But get free units is always better than not get free units, so probably the good call out of the red player anyways. And he also needs to see if he can probably prevent an opponent from taking the mid chest. So he's running with his zombies inside that capturing zone. The two heroes are also here, but not buffing anyone with the active ability because they were lagging a little bit behind. Now the chieftain way goes straight onto the ballista. The ballista actually dealt quite a bit of damage to the zombies, but this chest at the 15-minute mark still goes to the dark player, so it is the second mid chest he takes in the row. Nobody acquires this one, and the left one has been taken by the blue player. And now Tijuana really needs to handle his micro in this fight, because there are a lot of exposed targets that he needs to finish off with the zombies, but instead of that, zombie starts attacking the domed paladin, which is the worst thing they can do ever, because they will never ever kill him, and they just spend time and HP for literally nothing. Now Tijuana spots that, so he sends his zombies onto the light units, but Unicorn is up 75 mana, so he used the magic blast, finishes off a few zombies. There are still a bit, and Tijuana is trying to take down another archer. Has not done that, and then yet another zombie goes down. I'd say that was a terrible fight for the dark player. He wasn't really able to use the strength of his composition, and the hard part about playing the zombies is that you really need to make sure you can handle your micro. If you just A-click zombies are not the guardsmen. You can send the guardsmen on the cavalry and they will be slightly better, or you can just double tap them and they will be slightly worse, but they will make the job done anyways. But what about zombies? You really need to make sure you focus fire them on the correct target. You can't really do the nonsense things with the zombies, because they will just die. And they are still quite an expensive unit in gold. They're almost free in wood, but they are really expensive in gold. And if you lose like 4 zombies, it is 1.2k in gold. Quite a bit. So now that Tijuana sees that many guardsmen, he transitions into the Venom Spitters, which actually makes sense, and you can even mass the Venom Spitter against the archers, at least until there are no 3 barracks mass archer, because they deny any healing and also stack the Venom. You can see our archer actually die to this Venom. But guardsmen with the princess, with the ballista do the great job against those zombies, and every single one go down. Now the last zombie went down, and Tijuana, left with his Eater Unicorn, was quick enough to use the Dome of the Light to prevent the Eater from killing this paladin. Tijuana decided to pursue these units, and actually the great use of the Eater ability right now, stunning the biker and stunning the princess, and probably he will be able to take down the princess with those Venom Spitters. She was taken down eventually. Also the X-Masters back in the business. The new model, the new animations we have for this unit. Slightly ill one, because you can see how he lower his X into the ground. We're gonna fix that relatively soon, I believe, but still it's not so noticeably when you play on the phone. But now that we watch it in the full screen, we can spot this. the little stuff like this, but we now try to fix all the little stuff like this before the release, because we're gonna launch relatively soon, so we really start our polishing thing. So anyways, the 4 Venom Speeders come to harass the worker line, but nicely covered by the Tower of the Light Magic that line is. So we probably required way more micro by the Dark player to be able to use it effectively. But now it seems that he just selects all the army and double taps it, because the Venom Speeders try to fly past the Tower of the Light Magic, which didn't make any sense obviously, because he just lose one of the units straight. And now we hear a little duel which seems to go to the guardsman's name. I'm not sure if they started being full HP or not, but X-Masters and the guardsman are the same tier. But since guardsman is a melee unit, in the straight fight, I guess it's supposed to win, because X-Masters are ranged, so they should be better when comboed with something. And now Unicorn decided to catch those Venom Speeders with the gravity, and actually the main hope of Tijuana in this position, now that he's down almost 30 supplies, to get more Venom Speeders on the map, but obviously losing those to the gravity doesn't help. But the biggest problem is he still didn't get a Citadel 4, so he's not able to go higher than 98 supply, while White Unicorn already got his 4th farm, so he's up to 123, and that is way more, way more. He also has 3 heroes on the battlefield, a few bikers to be able to handle those Venom Speeders, and obviously Bombardier and Prisons are helpful too, but currently dealing with the X-Masters, and another gravity Venom Speeder went down, and it seems that it is about to be it, because I can't see any possibility for the Dark player to ever come back from this. We can see him receiving only a Necromancer. Alright, I thought it would be a Venom Speeder, but probably Necromancer died first. So what Unicorn did in this game is he played a fancy rush, didn't let the Dark player safely and nicely transition to the mid game, and then he transitioned to the mid game himself, and also tried to fight cautiously and not do the stupid things in the fights, run with the archers from the zombies, focus fire better, and this is why he ended up winning this one and showing us how Undead is obviously strong, but probably not really that unbalanced as some of the players might think. So Light players comes on top, and it is time to wrap up our video. Thank you for watching, and make sure to sub to the channel in order not to miss the next one. My name is Kabi, and I'll see you in the next videos. Bye bye.